being tracked by this camera.
Okay, this video is going to be about solid state drives. And the question we want to answer is, if you have an existing computer, say, that has some performance issues and you would like to upgrade that computer, is a solid state drive a good option? Or say you're getting ready to buy a new computer and you're on a budget and you're looking at different options for a new laptop or a new computer, should you include a solid state drive? Those are the questions we're going to address in this video. I'm going to show you the upgrade of a solid state, or the upgrade of a laptop to a solid state drive. We'll go over some basic steps. This is not a hardcore how-to geek video. This is just should I, and what are the benefits, and we'll show you some of those and hopefully help you make your decision. It can be a fairly inexpensive upgrade, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But here we go. We'll switch to the screen. I'll give you some basics. I'm going to show you some performance comparisons for read and write on the hard drive and some real-world boot application launches, and show you what those look like. So again, here we go. I'll show you on the screen, and we'll be back and forth in between video and screen. So basically what this is going to do, I'm screen recording, but I'm going to show you on the camera as well. I'm going to click all on this. It's going to give us some information about the read and write on this hard drive. Not going in to any of the hardcore details, other than I'm just going to show you a comparison. We're going to choose, say, 500 megabytes just to save time. We're going to click all. We're going to let this guy run and see what we get. This is going to take a minute, so we'll come back. Okay, so here we go. What we have is 3 different areas. This is just a comparison. So we have, we have our first row of numbers. We have 91.87 read megabits per second. And then we have 103.7 write megabits per second. And then on down from there. So those are our base numbers. We're going to come back to this test after we've installed the solid state hard drive. Okay, I have the camera off the tripod here because what I'm going to show you the best I can. This is one of those shiny screens, and we have a lot of lights in here. But what I'm going to show you the best I can is how long it takes this thing to boot up, and we'll put a little timer up on the screen so you can see exactly how long it took. Here we go. And there's a login screen. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, I just launched Word. I don't know, it's been 10, 15 seconds, it's still going. So this is going to be one that we definitely compare after we upgrade it to a solid state drive. Okay, so we got some basic information. We did, we ran a utility that shows read and write speed of the hard drive. We booted the computer, which it booted pretty fast. That's not the greatest indicator, but it is an indicator. We launched some apps. Word took a long time, so that'll be something we come back to and check out. Now we're going to do this guy right here. So for any of you hardcore geeks out there, if you have any judgment about the best product to use, that's fine. But again, this is just, should I do this? Is it worth it? That kind of thing. This was about $50, a little over $50. Something like this is anywhere from $10 to $30, depending on the one you get. So, 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks, whatever, and you can make this upgrade happen on your own. Or if it's something you've been wanting about having somebody do, we'll show you if we think it's worth it or not. So we're going to open this guy up. We're going to connect all this stuff up, and I'll show you that. And then we'll start the actual upgrade. We'll screen record that, and we'll show you that as well. Okay, we're going to open this drive up. So I have this weird thing about not destroying the boxes when I open something. So here we go. It's gonna bother me that I have to destroy that packaging on the hard drive itself. This is how it comes. It comes with very little instructions, just a bunch of technical junk that I wouldn't even think about reading through in this. Put that aside. Here's the packaging. These hard drives are super light. says something about attention. If you open this, you could die or something. I don't know. So we're gonna open it up. We're gonna pull the drive out. That's what the drive looks like. You can see it has regular, if you're familiar with how drives connect, it has just the same as a regular hard drive would connect. It's just same size. It's just solid state rather than mechanical. Here's the stuff I showed you, I think, already. This is power to power this drive up. We're gonna connect that. I have the data portion of it right here. You have a little SATA cable, a little short one that plugs into the end of this guy. Depending on what you get, could be different than this, but you know, generally just the same kind of connections. It's going to be exactly the same kind of connections, just might be laid out a little bit differently. But there you go. It's all plugged into power. We got the USB cable that we'll plug into the laptop. I'm going to plug into power first. So I will tell you that I've been through this process before, and what happens is obviously that you need some software to make all of this come together. So the software we're going to use is Acronis TrueImage, Western Digital, that's available to download from their site. However, if you don't have a Western Digital hard drive connected in your laptop, you can't run the software. You'll get a warning when you attempt to do so. So I'm going to plug this guy in. I'll switch over to a screen record and I'll show you what that looks like. So I have the hard drive connected. I'm going to open up the software that I've already downloaded and installed. If you'd like some more information about that software, how to get it, how to install it, there are a couple little gotchas. If you try to install without a Western Digital drive connected, it will give you a warning telling you that you need a Western Digital drive connected to install. Okay, so I'll show you right here on the screen. One of the strange issues that I ran into, well maybe it's not strange, but one of the issues I ran into when I was, even after installing and having the hard drive connected, is I got this error right here. Again, I'll show you on the screen, or right here on the screen as I'm showing you. It says this product edition requires at least one Western Digital or SanDisk drive be installed. So it is connected, it's powered up, but as I'll show you here, if you go into drives, and for the hardcore geeks, they already understand this, but it doesn't show, the drive doesn't show up. But if you go into disk management, and I'll show you that right now on the screen. So if you go into disk management and you take a look, right off the bat you'll get this. It's wanting to initialize the disk because it's connected. We're going to leave all defaults. We're going to select OK. And we're going to make sure that that drive is actually initiated. It's actually showing online. We're going to go back to that Acronis software and see what we get now. Yeah, as you can see, it now shows as you can see, continue is now lit up and we can continue with the Acronis software. So here we go. We're in the Acronis TrueImage Western Digital Edition. And what we want to do is clone the disk. Okay, so like I said, we want to clone the disk. We're going to choose this first option. And it says when you want to clone your operating system, applications and data to a new drive. And that's what we want to do. There's another option here, automatic or manual. All your partitions from the source hard disks will be copied to the target disk, which is what we want, so we're going to use that option. Now the tricky part, choosing the source and the target. You have to be really careful here because you don't want to overwrite the wrong drive. We happen to know, but I will confirm real quick. So disk 1, SATA ATA, is the drive that is currently installed as an operating system. And so this laptop has a 1 terabyte drive, which is probably overkill. They're using 65 gigs. We're only installing a 250 gig solid state drive, which will work just fine. So we're just confirming that terabyte drive, this one listed here at the very top as serial ATA, is the original drive, the source disk. So we're going to click next. And that's going to let us choose at some point the destination disk. The destination disk is going to be, I have another USB device plugged in, so it's not this 7.5 gigabyte. It's going to be this 232.9, which is 250 gig drive. So we're going to select that guy. We're going to click next. It's going to give you this warning. The destination hard disk drive you have chosen contains some partitions that could contain useful data. We're not worried about that. It's a brand new drive. We're going to override it. Select OK, we continue, and then the process We'll start once we click on proceed. It's giving you some information right here. Before, after, it's showing you the current unallocated space of the drive that we're writing to and what it will look like when we're done. So in other words, it's telling you, letting us know how much free space will be available on that drive when we're done. Click proceed, and away we go. Okay, now it's going to ask us to restart. This is where we're going to lose screen perhaps, so I'll grab the camera and show you some of that. Okay, so we're going to lose screen record on this, obviously, because we're rebooting. So I'm going to record the best I can from my camera here. We're going to restart this guy, and it should start cloning. So let's see what happens here. So as you can see, it booted into Acronis, showing the progress. From here, it's going to take over and do its thing, and we will come back when it's done, and we'll test out the laptop and see how it performs.
Okay, we finished the clone of the old hard drive to the new hard drive. We got tired, so we kind of ended the video. And this is the next night. And we went ahead and actually installed the drive. It's already it's already installed in here. We didn't get it on camera. That's a whole nother process. So, that's a whole nother video. Anyway, so we installed it. It's in here. Laptop's ready to go. We're going to boot it up, test it out. But if you notice, the camera's following me. That's a whole nother subject. This is a quick little test and kind of a sneak peek at our new camera, the Osmo Pocket. And that will be our next video. So make sure you subscribe, comment if you can, and click the little bell so that when we release the video on our Osmo, you'll get a notification. There's a bunch of videos on this camera already, but we're gonna do something a little bit different. It's gonna be super real world in our garage. It's gonna be featured on our main channel, which is Dandy Off-Road, and you'll see us working on the garage being tracked by this camera. So anyway, check that out. So right now we're gonna look at this guy. Let's see if we can get it to track it. Okay, so we got the DJI Osmo Pocket to track the screen of this laptop. As you can see, as we move it, it tracks it. We're going to set it down right here. We're going to boot it up and continue on with our solid state drive test. So as it boots up, we'll put a little timer up on the screen like we did before. We'll check to see how long it took to boot. It was up pretty quick. Again, not really concerned as much about the boot time as I am how it runs once it's up and running. So let's try Word. That was a big one. It took a while. Let's try that and see what we get. Here we go. Ready? Definitely much quicker. So let's take a look at that. We'll close that down. Okay, so here's the numbers that we want to compare to. If you refer to back earlier in the video, you'll see the original numbers, but I can tell you right now there's a huge difference, probably like over 400 megabits per second difference in the first line. So check out those numbers. This is the comparison, and what a difference. Okay, so that completes the upgrade of this laptop here to a solid state drive. You can see the numbers. We didn't dive too deep into the technical aspects of how much faster it is, but it's way faster. This laptop over here is mine, came with a solid state drive. Super fast. It makes a huge difference. I run a computer at work that's probably a 10-year-old computer with a solid state drive with Windows 10 running on it. Runs great. The solid state drive upgrade is one of the best things you can do for the money. It's super cheap compared to a new laptop or a new computer, and it makes a huge difference. It's the single best thing you can do for an upgrade over adding memory, unless you're really low on memory. that type of thing. It makes a huge difference. So for us, it's definitely, we would buy it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out our main channel, Dandy Off-Road. As we mentioned in this video, we have a new camera, the DJI Osmo Pocket, and there'll be a bunch of new videos up on that channel soon, in which we will be using the new DJI Osmo to track us around the garage as we work on stuff. And so it'll be a great real world test of how that camera works. Also, our next video on this channel will be the DJI Osmo Pocket, and we'll just be going over some basics. That's kind of why we're using it now, so that we can test it, so we can give a real opinion as to how we feel about it. Thank you.